Hi, I'm Larry Bodmer.
And I'm Judy Bodmer.
We got married in 1969.
We met at the University of Idaho, and we dated for 3 months before we decided to get married. 3 months later, we married.
Got married. Yeah. We did not have premarital counseling or any help for that matter. We just decided to get married and did it too quickly.
The first few years were pretty good. Then I got pregnant, and my husband decided we should go to church. I had married a non-Christian and was a backslidden Christian. Had no interest in church, but my husband was invited by a coworker, and he said, let's go to church.
Our marriage was struggling, and one of the things after the night I accepted Christ, I remember laying in bed awake that night thinking, now things are going to be better.
Some people think that accepting Christ will save their marriage.
In reality, God allowed them to get worse, in fact, much worse. We also went into this with a host of what we call unrealistic expectations, things that we just knew were going to happen in our marriage, that it was going to go well, and we were going to have a nice house with picket fence and money. And
the life I thought that I wanted, we just didn't have together. I fell out of love with my husband. You don't expect that to happen. When you marry, you think your love will last forever. I wanted X and Larry was Y. And I didn't think he could ever become X. And I was trying really hard to make him X. He was just Y.
It did seem like the easy thing to do. We'd made all the mistakes, that we weren't right for each other. We should not have gotten married, and that the right thing to do then was just to end our marriage. God had other plans for us, and one of the ways that He made sure that we didn't get divorced is we couldn't afford to live separately, so we had to live together. God forced us to start working through some things and working some things out.
I was trying to get all of my love needs met through Larry. A human being cannot meet all of those needs.
I had insecurities, I had fears about being a husband, being a provider, a father, the spiritual leader.
I determined that we weren't going to fight, and so I would hold little things that Larry did that upset me, and I would just hold them in, and then I would explode, and I would bring out the thing that made me mad, plus the last 5 things that he did.
I could talk to her about weather and the price of gas and things like that, but talking about the real Larry was hard for me.
I kept a record of wrongs, and I delighted in bringing them all out. Don't do that.
No, it took us about 5 or 6 years to dig ourselves out of the pit that we had dug for ourselves.
It's so easy to go to the negative and think about how Larry should behave, the things he should do, and he wasn't very lovable. Oh, you're lovable.
No, okay. And in looking back, I now realize that God had some things to teach me, teach us, and if they hadn't gotten worse, we probably would never have learned those. And this September 20th, we'll celebrate our 40th anniversary. The reason that Judy and I wanted to share our story is we wanted you to know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how dark it appears to you right now, that there is hope. There is hope through Jesus. That better?
I think you set up very well.
Good.
I have nothing to add.